Now you just got this crazy belly that's rock solid hard. It's never going to go away.
I don't know. I don't think I'd mind.
Are massive.
I don't think I'd mind. I have a belly already. But the difference is it's not a six-pack. It's just
that's
fat.
Ridiculous. Welcome to another episode of Don Draper's Den. On this podcast, we discuss branding and marketing and how it touches so many aspects of our lives. We also talk a bunch of trash about music and movies, food and culture, usually each other. We do hope that you're entertained. You can get some insight from a couple of professionals in the marketing game, such as ourselves. I'm Chris. This is Ernie. In this episode, we got into, we actually landed pretty deep in heavy topics there. But we get into perseverance, the economy.
Yeah, sticking with your marketing plan. Stay the course. Yeah. Talk about tracksuits and your vision.
Mobsters
to become an old mobster gangster. Yeah.
So it was fun. It was fun, but we got serious. So we hope you're entertained. Of course, like, share, subscribe, comment. You guys know the drill at this point. Help us spread the word. We appreciate the support. And without further ado, pour yourself a glass and let's get into this.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers to you. Bro, new studio.
Yeah, it feels nice.
Feels very
much
nice.
More space.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks the same, I guess, to the millions that watch every week, but it feels so much better.
Yeah,
it feels so much better.
I mean, the studio before was like so tight.
Yeah, and then I was, and it's it's a bit of a palace behind the camera. You guys don't know, you can't see it, but trust us, it's pretty crazy looking back there. Diamond studded everything, gold.
Whatever.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
It's fine. I don't mind showing it off. We're doing very well for ourselves. I got a gold, Kid Rock has a gold plated shower.
Yeah, he has like an elevator, like right when you go into your.
It's a gold shower.
He has a gold shower, golden elevator.
Bro.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I think it's in the shape of White House, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, but it's something like, no, it's him, I think. Yeah. But I heard something, I think, like, there aren't that many rooms in his house, like, as far as bedrooms.
Yeah.
He only has, like, a few. I think this is him. Really? But then the rest is all, like, open for, like, partying,
just
basically.
Chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of, what I always wanted, man? I want, like a 700 square foot or less house, right? And you walk in, and it's a little like, because that's pretty smaller than my apartment. And so you walk in, you're like, all right. And you almost get that kind of like pity, it's pretty good in here, buddy, But I want the house built underground and then the back of the house to be like, like exposed, like open window basically for like 50 feet, right?
Yeah.
And so then each bedroom would have this, view of like an open field kind of thing. And it'd be really nice like that. And
then depending on how the sun goes, the sun just kind of comes through that window.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that'd be, but on, as you drive up, you know what I mean? And it's like an excessive amount of land for the house, right? I don't need all that much. I don't want to cut that much grass.
Yeah.
But it would just be cool. Be like, this is where I thought he was doing okay. What the hell? And then you go in and then there's like something cool, you like, lift up one knife, you're like making a sandwich. You're like, hey, you want peanut butter and jelly? You're like, yeah, I guess so, man. You don't even have cold cuts? Like, I thought you're not okay. And they're like about to like offer you money.
Yeah.
And then you pull out the one special knife and like all this, like the floor, like, and it exposes this just dope layout.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
You want to be kind of like that millionaire next door that you never knew was a millionaire.
Never knew. Yeah. And then
from the outside, everything looks shitty.
Yeah, super just normal, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, it's just a guy, Wilmington, Ohio, you know? Yeah, he's a good guy. But then got that, Batman kind of vibe.
Yep.
God, just don't give me money, dude. Just wait till I spend it. Be so stupid. Of course, I'll be super tan. I already know this. Really tan on all the juice, too. Just be shooting steroids in my neck all day and night long.
You turn into leather.
Oh, yeah.
Super jacked.
Oh,
but you'll have this like 6-pack but a belly. Have you ever seen that? Those bodybuilders.
That's too much human growth hormone.
Yeah. Like they still have a belly and you still like can see a six-pack.
Because
it's the weirdest shit.
It's because those drugs can't, hormones and all. It's not like they're discriminating in your body, right? That's bullshit. They always do that in like Advil commercials. It knows where the pain is, whatever stupid crap they say. No, they don't.
No, it doesn't.
No, it just hits your whole body.
Yeah.
And then it gets, it also helps the one part that hurts, but everything else is getting it too, right? So that's human growth hormone. Yeah, your organs grow. Everything grows.
That's just weird. It's a weird look.
Dude.
It's a weird look. It's obvious they're taking growth hormones.
Super obvious.
Yeah.
Super duper. And or they're super juiced up. So
but then you'll see like these guys are like, I think they look like 50 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're super tanned and they're huge, but they got this like massive belly. And they've lost all their hair. And a six-pack.
The testosterone is through the roof. Right. And they're and all the man things that happen to regular men, right? I got the couple little, spider legs growing out of my ear at this point. I'm losing the hair, right? But then that accelerates it, right? So now, where's the benefit?
Right.
Where's the benefit? You look crazy. Now you just got this crazy belly that's rock solid hard. It's never going to go away.
I don't know. I don't think I'd mind.
Massive.
I don't think I'd mind. I have a belly already. But the difference is it's not a six-pack. It's just
that's
fat.
Ridiculous. That is ridiculous. But at least, it's like it's the trend these days, right? The dad bod, or so they say.
Yeah,
Dad bod. If not, why isn't there a bunch of broads, 25 years old, all bombshells at the local Home Depot?
Yeah.
Right? If you want dad bod that much, they're right there,
they're right
dude.
there.
There's tons of them.
I tell Hannah all the time because she's always like, "Oh, I like your body. I like the dad bod look, whatever." I'm like, "Come on, you put me side by side between this guy and that guy who has like a six-pack." Don't
bullshit.
Don't patronize me. I know.
There's other things.
And I'm like, what? That's fine. That makes me feel good that you still say that.
But
let's be real.
Yeah. They're insane. They're insane. Your wife and my girlfriend are insane because there's certain things said, right? We've talked about this. The labs, lurking ass bitches. No.
Yeah.
No, there's no Ferrari outside. Stop it.
Yeah. Although I will say her hall pass is Ice Cube.
Dad bod all day.
He's dad bod all day. So
He's
I'm
never
like,
had a six-pack, I don't think.
No, I don't think so. He's just been this kind of stocky guy. So, it could be true.
But he rhymes like a son of a bitch, man. He's amazing. So
it could be true.
If not for sure.
Just wears those like flannels.
Yeah. Kind
of droops around him. Like, I could get in that look.
Is that why you rock flannels?
No, actually, no.
Is that part of the game?
Actually, I just realized as I said flannels, like, oh shit. No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not mad at it, dude.
Actually, I've never been a flannel guy until I started just riding motorcycles and stuff and being around that culture. Everybody, wears flannels and
it feels right.
It just feels good.
Yeah.
And then I started to appreciate it and I started getting into Dixon flannels and I'm like,
shout out.
Man. Yeah. The material, everything is good. And then I just got addicted to buying flannels. Yeah, but now that I mention it, I'm morphing into Ice Cube.
That's hilarious.
Except I don't have his money.
No.
And I don't have his moves. There's so much I'm lacking. I can't compare myself to him. He's got his crip walk. He's got the money.
So then you're like, I don't know what I'll do. I'll get this massive stomach with a six-pack on it. That's my solution.
That's my solution.
Yeah. So no, I want the good stuff. As I age, I want the Stallone juice. Right, he's the canary in the coal mine, as I've said before. Definitely going to have the fake hair at that point, right? And not even subtle, right? Once it's all gone, I'm fine with shaving it.
Wait, are you going to do a toupee?
No, because you got to get it in there, right? I don't know how they do their magic, right? Whatever it is, I'm in. Especially like
talking about the
30
plugs?
years from, sure, yeah, whatever it is, right? And probably different, like in decades from now. But it's not going to be subtle because I'll have had no hair for a long time by that point, and it's going to be jet black, right? Like
so completely obvious.
Yeah, who are you fooling at this point?
Have you ever seen those reels where like they shave, they outline the part of their skull and then they shave it and then they glue on a toupee over it?
Yeah, man.
It looks pretty convincing.
Bro.
Would you rather do that?
Bro.
Or would you rather put plugs in?
Dude.
Or would you rather just wear a fucking hat?
Let it go. That's it, man.
Yeah.
Let it go. It was correct when they said it in Frozen.
Mm-hmm.
Just let it go. It's fine, man. It's part of a plan. Call it the universe, evolution, God, whatever you want to do. I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Bring it here, right? Because, as I said before, this is a vehicle. It's just a meat vehicle that I get.
It's a meat vehicle.
Right? I get to run through this racetrack, this crazy racetrack of life, right? Mm-hmm. This is my meat vehicle. And I get to kind of sprint as I see it to that finish line, right? And the great rap song, again, with reference before, Killer Mike, right? Run. And I'm just running down the beach. And people are getting taken out left and right, car accidents, heart attacks, and this, that, the other. And I'm going to get to the finish line, whenever that might be, because you don't know, man. It could be tomorrow. And so you get to the finish line, and I'm just going to be ragged, bro. I want people looking at the funeral like, God damn, what, you know what I mean?
Can you be that guy? Yeah. Can you be that guy that wears like the what do you call it? Like the sweatpants and the tracksuit, and like you have random gold jewelry. Can you please be that guy? I want you to be that guy.
We have to.
I want a friend like that,
dude. We both have to embrace our inner gangster, but relative to race, right? So I'm adopted to an Italian family, so I could go Italian with it. Jersey, right? I get the accent. I'm in. But either way, it's funny. Why do all mobsters end up with those same shady glasses that I was mentioning to you? The gold on the side, real big,
really big, flashy.
But the fade is like a half fade, right? But it's going to be a tracksuit, or it's going to be like a t-shirt, but you got like the velvet kind of zip up. That's another move with like the real flashy shoes.
Yeah.
I
want. That's what I want you to be when you grow up.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Can we do that for like the whole month of whatever? When it's maybe in September? Not say anything to anybody.
Right.
Just go around like it's a regular ass day here in Lebanon,
dress
Ohio.
out like that.
Yeah.
I should be on your vision board.
Dude, I'll put it up right now. That's amazing.
That's what I want. That's my end goal. If I hit that goal, I've arrived. Dude, that's a good goal.
Yeah. Little tiny house. All right, here it is. Little house, nice bit of land, not a tree in sight because I don't want to pick up leaves. But I got like one of them big, like industrial size type lawnmowers, you know? Anyways, so like my garage is bigger than my house. Anyways, so little house. And then, just go around a tracksuit wearing like 30 grand.
Yeah.
40
Just
grand
gaudy,
worth of gold.
Gaudy rings, gaudy
one
necklaces.
Of those, remember back in the 80s, the 4-finger rings, 3-finger rings?
Yep. Yeah.
I don't even need money. I might just get that now.
I think you could pull it off. That's what you should go for.
You need the money. Otherwise, you're going to get laughed at. You're like, what is this asshole doing?
Yeah.
It looks so stupid.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I don't know.
You could bring back your jersey, a very thick jersey accent.
Yeah,
Jersey
walk
Shore.
Around, shoulders up.
Yeah.
Doing this. Yeah. Oh man, I don't get to bust that out. Sometimes when I get mad, I get hot talking about stupid shit.
You start like quoting like Joe Pesci lines.
Nothing but good speak in Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Only.
Funny how?
I'm a clown. I'm here to amuse you. What the fuck's so funny about me? Tell me.
Please, that'd be awesome, dude.
That's so good.
I'm like, that's just Chris over there.
How do they do that, man? Do gangsters still do that?
I think when you get to that point, you just don't care anymore. It's kind of like what you're saying. It's like, I just don't care. I'm just going to this is my, what do you say? My meat vessel?
This is my meat vessel. My meat vehicle. This is my meat vehicle. I'm going to decorate it how I want.
That's just gross. I don't like that term.
My meat vehicle, bro. Yeah, man. That might be a tattoo. No, because I just saw something. It was like TikTok or Instagram or something. There's like a Italian. He looks connected, right? Maybe not, but he sure looks connected. And there's a bunch of old Italian types, and like the younger of the men, right? Big, stout kind of fella, and they're at the tailor, right? So they're getting some clothes fitted, and And they're all like, "Oh, looks good, buddy. Nice." You know, they're obviously from Brooklyn or something like this. And whoa, and like, they're like big up in him. You know, they're talking him up. He's like, "Looks good. Oh, beautiful. Look at the shoes. Very nice. Very nice. Look at this. Oh, wait a minute. And there's like a pause. And he puts the glasses on, but he puts them on slow. He's like in the mirror, and he just hits them with this, and he turns around. Oh, and they all go crazy. I need that kind of maybe that's what we need.
Yes.
Right? With our success as we level up in our business.
Agreed.
Yes, man. We just need hype man.
Yes, hype man.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm imagining. Like now that the studio is bigger, we could have like people just hanging out here during the recording sessions.
Right.
You know, smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
Just all drinking, hanging out.
Yeah.
We could create a whole lounge behind the cameras.
Right. Right.
We need friends.
Get all your dogs
right
here too. That'd be fine.
Yeah.
So anyways, so that's good. I don't know how we got from steroids to tracksuits.
Because you said you just want to like just let it all hang out. Which conjured this imagery of you becoming this.
I can't wait.
Tracksuit wearing gangster
and inked up. You know, that's the thing too, man. In those Stallone movies where like he gets the shirt off and like he's still shredded, but he got ink late in life, man. I don't think he got inked up until he was like 60 years old or something like that. There's this stuff. Remember in what's that movie? Mickey Rourke, The Expendables, right? And then Mickey Rourke plays the tattoo artist, right? But a lot of the work on him was real. Like he got all that fairly recently. And I think, and in fact, speaking of that, I'm pretty sure the story goes that he got like a thing about him and his wife, something. And then she like something with the dog or something story. And he got like covered it up with like in reference to a dog, his favorite dog or something like that. Like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
You don't like that. You don't like that ex-wife.
I think as I grow, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just go to the gym and work out my shoulders.
That's the Hollywood
traps.
Yeah.
And just my arms and my chest. That's it. Just like really be big up here.
Right.
Thick neck. Right. And then underneath it, just let it all go.
As your legs just shrivel up.
But like I'd wear baggy pants and nobody ever sees it.
Right. Right. Until it comes out like, hey, big fella, why don't you give us a hand lifting this? And you just, you expose a bit of ankle and you're like, oh, no, you got little twigs, bud.
Yeah. That's what I want to do. Just get really ripped up top here.
I want that, man. I have the kettlebells in the truck. So I just want the neck.
You just want the neck.
That's what I really want. Everything else is fine. I still have a six pack. I'm feeling good.
Just a thick neck.
Just a big neck. It seems, I don't know. There's just something hard about that. I get my cauliflower ear going a little bit more. And a big neck. Nobody will mess with me. Anyways, so none of that is on topic.
No.
For what we have in mind today. What the hell is on topic today? We're going to talk about, we set up for these things, guys. We're not just messing around here, although it seems like it. That's right. The economy. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And hard times. Here's one thought that I was going to lead in, but we'll let you guys behind the curtain. So, all right. Let's say you got a personal style. Okay. I'm going to get there. I promise. Let's say you got a personal style. Let's say, like me, right? I'm a guy who likes my boots. Normally, I got my slides. It's a long story. It doesn't matter. Anyways, but I like my boots. And I'm a grown man, and I used to have a lot of band T-shirts.
And you pay your taxes.
And I pay my freaking taxes, and I'll eat cereal when I want. And so I got this style. Yeah. Right? Now, if you're successful in your style, in other words, if you're wearing whatever you want and you're a success, then it becomes like, part of your thing. It's part of your brand, right? It's like, hey, that's a crazy guy, but he gets stuff done. You know what I mean? So you've got some, validity in what you're doing, right? And so if you should fall on hard times, you're given a bit of grace in your style. In other words, like nobody's going to give you any shit. Like, hey man, maybe you should put the band T-shirts away and get some regular shoes and go get a regular job and all this kind of thing. It's like, no. He knows what he's doing. Everybody takes a knee. And so you almost double down, right? You get another pair of boots shine them up extra, and you get a leather jacket and you say, no, damn it, this is who I am. And then you persevere, and then you become that legend who, like, years down the road, it's just a chapter in a long book.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, that was a hard time. I persevered. I knew who I was, and I got through it. Right? And then the legend grows, right? And so you maintain kind of your integrity, is my point. Okay. The investment in your brand, if that's kind
your personal brand,
you know what I mean? Yeah, your investment in who you are. So what I speculated, totally ignorant, was, is that a business? Is that a personal thing? Is that a business thing? Are they related? Can they be related? Right? So there was a number that sticks out. I make sure I don't mess it up. But I believe that in looking up stuff to talk about today, the number that stood out was when there's been a hard time, a recession, right? Which is hard for everybody. And I hope anybody out there who's going to struggle or has had hard times, I hope it turns out okay. But the doubling down for those that are able to pull through, right? Because you could obviously double down and end up in a bad way. But those who double down and get their marketing right end up with triple-digit percentage returns. On average, according to our research, it was upwards of 250%.
Oh, wow.
Say, like, a recession hit, I got my marketing, my brand, my this, my that, blah, 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 right. And then, in my mind, I picture like a bombed out town or something, like where it's like, oh man, this one went down, that went down. And I mean, during COVID, how often was that the case? Right. There were so many empty stores, still are.
Yeah.
So, but for those who were able to weather the storm, there's some probably good business practice. But the marketing, now you market, there's nobody around.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're the only
last man standing.
Right.
Yep.
So, and then thusly it pays to have doubled down and kind of just believe in that brand.
Yeah.
Right. And I speculated it. It made sense, whatever in my head, but to see the numbers like that, I was like, holy shit, that's significant.
That is significant.
Yeah. Last point, thought that it brought to mind as I read through that. It reminds me of Forrest Gump when the shrimp boat industry is what it is. He goes out in his little dumb boat, doesn't know what the hell he's doing, but through sheer just ignorant determination, he was the last man standing.
Right.
And he ends up with a whole freaking fleet of boats. Yeah. So it worked out. Right? If we can only be so lucky. So
I think that, in times of recession or when we have the economy ebbs and flows, it's gonna bring to surface some of the weaknesses of your business, right? So certainly marketing is just one facet of the business. There's the finances, there's the cash flow, there's you got your processes, your service. There's a lot of elements to it, but regarding the marketing, it's amazing to me how often companies, that's like one of the first things that they start to eliminate, or they start to chip away at their budget. Right. Or they're exposed that they don't, during hard times, that they don't even really have a marketing plan. And then that's when it really, it really comes to light that, okay, shoot, we're not ready. Right. And so, what's when you're talking about these companies who they see this a massive growth as a result to staying the course with their marketing. Right. Well, I think the key piece to that is they had a marketing plan already. Yeah. They're just saying, okay, we got to weather the storm. We got to keep pushing through this plan. Unfortunately, how many businesses do we work with? And there's some even the larger, smaller size businesses where they don't even really have a plan. And so they're just grasping at that point. Maybe they know they need to do marketing, but it's almost too late. Never got around to it. Yeah. And then there's others where they have a plan, but because maybe there's other issues in the company, so they got to make cutbacks. Again, exposes weaknesses. Yeah. Then okay, let's eliminate some of the budget or some of the tactics, the strategies that we're originally planning on doing, and that's just not a good practice, right? Yeah. Because it's during that time of friction during a time of recession or economic downturn where it really tests your resolve.
Right.
Now what you might do too is that your plan might be wrong, right? Like it might not be the correct plan depending on what's happening. That doesn't mean, again, you should like eliminate it, right. But you should pivot. You should start to, there's a lot involved, I think, but staying the course is so important.
So here's some nuggets that came out of research. So like, do the marketing, right? But don't do it indiscriminately, right? So like, if you've got, I don't know how I'd say it, but like, 5 items of marketing or whatever it is, right? So you do like print media and you do PR of some kind, you do social media and this, that, the other. Okay. So then it's like, well, keep doing it, right? Don't skimp out. But then what about the things that are really expensive or comparatively expensive to do, right? So if times are tough, what costs the most, or maybe is like, it's almost like a luxury item in the business sense, right? So if you put on events, events can be kind of expensive,
right?
They might not be the thing that in a down economy, for a number of reasons, right? The just general morale of the population at that point, like, I don't even want to go to a goddamn party, or whatever it is. So, but those are expensive things to put on, and industry dependent, I suppose. You might not get that return on investment, first of all, but you might not even get the return on the return on event, the return on several things, because the economy has got to be at a particular bar in order to capitalize on those moments, right? And if everybody's hurting, guess what? You don't get that anymore, right? And when the times are good, like it puts me in mind of, say, like a farmer, right? Because it's weird how like some businesses are more like farming and some businesses are more like hunting. Right? But anyways, I think of the farmer who, let's say for upwards of a decade, is known to be like, oh man, Farmer Bob, he's always growing the best corn. And its crops are always killing it, this, that, the other, right? And Farmer Bob's got a reputation and it's all happening, right? And he's very successful. Now, Farmer Bob has never seen a hard time, right? And so he doesn't know how to pivot. He doesn't know you had to pivot, but he also wasn't aware of the fact that times were good, right? He just thought those were the times, right? And so what a sad time it is for the Farmer Bobs who, when tough times come, you thought your success was because you're such a bad dude. And you had it all locked in. Meanwhile, it's like, no, man, it's just that you haven't seen a hurricane this side of Florida in a minute. You lucked out, right? But the weather patterns changed. And now Tallahassee or Jacksonville just got freaking leveled. Right? Now what are you going to do? Right? So it's interesting to see when companies are successful. And as we say, it's like in spite of themselves, but also like they don't know why, and it wasn't necessarily just their effort that made them successful. It was also like happenstance. The environment, the economy, the trends of the day just happen to lead you to success. Right. And if you don't prepare for when that time runs out, I mean, God, name a business that isn't going to go out of use one day. Right. Horse and buggy was super awesome 150 years ago, but
now look,
the Amish are killing it.
Right.
But I don't know. So, man. So being able to pivot, knowing where the strengths are, don't kill the marketing. But know which one is more expensive. Right.
What's going to get you the maximum return, makes exposure. The thing is too, is any of your efforts that you put into marketing during a recession is only going to show your prospects or your clients that you have resolve, that you are strong, you're still out there, and you'll start to rise above, other competitors if you could stand the test, right? But cash flow is important. I think one of the things that came to mind as you were talking is businesses who scout ahead, who are like, they're looking 5 years down the line and they're kind of paying attention to what's happening around them, tend to be also a little bit better prepared too.
Right.
So they, as a result, they might change some of their product offerings, their services. They might change some of they might save more because they know that it's looking kind of bleak. You know, it's versus those companies who tend to be successful in spite of themselves, but and they're marching forward like everything is great, but because they're not scouting, they don't realize that there's a cliff. Just
happily walking to the edge of the cliff. Right.
Yeah. But if you're scouting, if you're always looking, it's going to open up other opportunities. Tell you that we got to turn left, we got to turn right, and so. Marketing is about planning, but it's also about having a good vision and looking beyond and say, okay, what are we going to be facing here in the future? You know, and are we positioning ourselves in the marketplace through our offerings or service or what have you? Are we positioning ourselves in the right place so that we can be successful when that cliff comes or when a recession happens? Now, granted, there's just some things are just inevitable, like you can't avoid. You know, if it's a complete disaster, there's certain things you just can't.
Everybody's going to get hit.
Right. Everybody's going to hurt.
Right.
You know, I mean, COVID was an example.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people couldn't anticipate that. How are you ever going to anticipate that?
Some did. Tinfoil hat.
Right.
So, all right. Speaking of that, going to cash, did you hear that Berkshire Hathaway went to Warren Buffett, went to, I think there was like 340-ish billion in cash. They're sitting on 300. Bro, that is more, naturally, that's more than any number of companies around the world. Probably countries, while I'm at it. But it was, I believe, could be wrong, I believe it was more than the market capitalization of Bank of America. Bro, they got more cash in their back pocket than the whole goddamn, what?
Yeah.
That is outrageous.
That's outrageous.
That is outrageous. Like, what do you mean?
Like during that 2008 when that recession came, like how many companies called Warren Buffett for help? I mean, how crazy is that? Banks saying, we need your help. Like,
it's not the first time, man. Like that's during the Gilded Age, Rockefeller and all them, all the tycoons back then. Yeah, same kind of vibes. You know. Just people with extraordinary wealth. Right. And never mind like the Middle East. Right. Nobody knows really how much money that is out there. You know, and it's big families, but they have like trillions of dollars, man. Right. I mean, all that oil money, you're really sharing it with your people like that. Come on, dude. Come on. They're just out there. There's so much money. They'll just like run a Ferrari into the ground. Set it on fire. They don't care.
I saw a video about how like some of those tycoons over there in the Middle East or in like Dubai, they like, have you heard this? They seed the clouds to rain. What?
Did you see what happened though?
No, what happened?
So it's like aluminum, oxide, whatever it's called. But it's super legit. It's a real thing. So the clouds naturally get a little out of hand when you do that, right? So there's like flooding, like you can't even comprehend.
Really?
Right? Because it's flashlight. There's not a plant in sight to stop it. Right? So there's like, I don't know about the aftermath. I mean, judging by how it looked like a 5-lane highway's worth of water, raging water, right? Sweeping cars away. But when you get underneath the gravel, the asphalt, I mean, it's just sand. Bro, what are you doing?
Right.
It's going to erode underneath a building and pop, it's over with. So whatever. They want to seed their clouds? Go ahead. Cool. Let's see how that works out.
Right.
See if they do that for the line that they're building.
Oh, yeah.
That big
I've been paying attention to that too. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What you can do when you have all that kind of money.
Yeah. All I want is just a little underground house thing. Some mobster looking glasses. That's all I need.
You're basically just trying to grow a bunker
Yeah.
Is what you're trying to do,
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, like bunker that nobody knows that she had that money, but really underneath it just opens up.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like rolling iron, like shutters, like in case of emergency, and just, and then, we're locked in.
Yeah.
You know?
I kind of had that with my house that I built over in Morrow. No, it was definitely not like a huge mansion or anything like that. Right. But like when you compared my house versus the houses on that one country road street, it looks tiny compared to them. And I remember when my nieces visited, she's like, wow, you have the smallest house here. I'm like, oh, little that you know. Little that you know. Yeah. Because we had a full basement underneath. So what you saw up front was it was double the size. But I went down because I was thinking like, you know, the older I get, if I'm going to retire here, I don't want to be walking upstairs. Yeah. But it went down, and then in the basement area, it was like more like a lower level because it opened up to the backyard. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. So like from the street, it's like, oh, okay, it's like a ranch home. Like, no. It was 4,800 square foot home. Yeah. At the end of the day, you just didn't look like it.
Yeah, that's what I want. 7,000. Yeah, that's what I want. 7,000 square foot.
That's a lot, man.
That's so stupid.
That's so stupid. That's
the dumbest place ever.
Yeah.
I should be so lucky. The charities are going to get a lot of money if I can get that. Right. So the recession. Yeah. So Warren Buffett's going to cash. I can't even speculate on that. I'm not the guy for that. But if times come, I guess just like when hard times come and every school gets rid of music, bro, don't get rid of the music program. God, don't get rid of the marketing. Like, do yourself a favor. Yeah. And just, first of all, have a plan before you get there, right? But second of all, just evaluate. Do you have to get rid of all of it? Are you going to be the best kept secret in a recession? You're going to die a slow death.
You remind me of a movie. Do you ever watch Opus? It's, shoot. Dang it, I can't remember. It's in this. Oh, Mr. Holland's Opus.
I know what you mean. That's with Richard Dreyfuss, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But at the end, they cut out the music program or something like that.
Okay.
And he lost his job or something like that.
Yeah.
But I used to love that movie, and that actually inspired me to when I decided to change my degree. Yeah. From engineering, I'm like, you know what? I need my undergrad in order to go to seminary. What should I get it in? Right. I was watching Mr. Holland's Opus.
Oh shit!
And I'm like, he didn't want to be he wanted to be a musician and a conductor. Right. And so he kind of just stumbled into being a music teacher just to pay the bills, only to find out that his opus is his students, and then you know, and so that
his flock, as it were,
right? Yeah. And that inspired me to say, you know what, I'm going to go into teaching. So. But it just kind of reminded me because I think in that movie they were saying how they're trying to cut the music program.
That's just so freaking common, man.
Or it reminds me of that other movie with the King of Queens actor.
Yeah, Here Comes the Boom.
Here Comes the Boom.
Kevin, what's his face? I know what you mean.
Yeah.
And Boss Root is in it.
Yeah.
So good.
You're trying to save the music program.
But as Rogan obviously is pushing Kevin James.
Kevin James, that's his name.
Yeah, he was pushing for his buddy because they go back a ways. But he had hands, you know. I mean, he was like 43-ish when he made that movie, something like that. So imagining him in with, I think his nickname was the Polish Experiment. Christoph. Was a fighter's name, one of the guys that he fought. In real life, his real name. But that dude whoop wholesale ass on Kevin James. Like, Jesus, there is no way. But he does have good hands. I'll give him that. He does train. So, shout out to Kevin James.
So you watched that movie?
Yeah.
You know when he does that last
like the power bomb?
The power bomb move? Yeah. Well, the story goes, I guess, before they shot that and they harnessed everything, he actually did it because he wanted to show people that I can do this.
To lift him.
Yeah. So he did actually lift him.
Damn. Yeah, that's hard to do, man. That's hard to do.
He's a pretty strong guy, and I guess he was a wrestler or something. Kevin James was a wrestler in high school. So,
and you can't fake the pad work. I mean, Boss Rutan is holding pads for him, and I forget the other guy's name. Famous trainers in there as well. But he's really doing it, man. You know, better hands than I do. So shout out to Kevin James. I
don't know how I got that. Oh yeah, cutting the music program.
That's right.
School.
Yeah, cut the music program. So don't cut the marketing. Do yourself a favor. I was kind of shocked with the kind of companies, like, you kind of forget, man. Like, obviously I was a kid in the 80s, so I wasn't paying attention. But like 86 or whatever, 88 in there, somewhere is a recession. And company, I know the propaganda, the Hollywood propaganda regarding the issues, meaning the Russians are the enemy. I watched Rocky IV.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything about communism in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. All I know is the line we got fed as Americans. Then that car movie we talked about with the first Batman. What's the guy from Batman? We're doing
Michael Keaton. Keaton, you're talking about
Gung Ho. So then that narrative, right? Where it's like, we got to buddy up with, I guess it was Japan in the day. So we got to buddy up with them. Yeah. And so they push the narrative. So I don't remember the actual news, but I know that it happened because I remember that movie. So the companies that like pulled through are like staples. Man. Hyundai, I think, was one that comes to mind where you just it doesn't really hit home because you're like, they're just another car. Like, of course there's Ford and Hyundai and Honda and all this, right?
Yeah.
Of course they're around, but it's like, no, there were other companies then that died, and through their efforts, their marketing efforts, they rebranded and they kept
moving forward. Yeah. Yep. No, it's important, but you know, isn't that like in life though too? I just think like, what was I? Oh, we did a success story video today, video shoot at one of our clients, and it was really inspiring story. So we do a lot of work for like Ohio Means Jobs and Area 12 area here in Ohio. And there was a good testimonial video that we shot of this lady who she dropped out of school because she had a baby in high school, and she painted this picture of just having no hope, just doubting herself. But then she discovered Ohio Means Jobs because she wanted to get her GED.
Right.
And so she went and got her GED through Ohio Means Jobs. And during that time, she ended up, they told her that they have a scholarship program through Butler Tech on becoming a nurse. And then she got her nursing degree, and now she's getting her second degree, where she's graduating in this coming next month. Right. And how her life has completely changed, and now she actually has money for taking her kid out on vacations and things like that. Right. But it was really inspiring, and what she told, she was telling others who would watch this testimonial video of hers is, don't give up. Yeah, like stay with it, stay the course. Yeah. You know, life is hard, and the biggest hurdle is that first hurdle. Yeah, that you got to just get beyond your self-doubt. Just go through the process. And she was like, it wasn't easy. It wasn't like I just did this and was instantly, you know, my life was changed. She failed her exams initially, her first exams, and she had to try it again. And she's like, just stay the course. But she had this vision, this plan of my life can be better, and I need to get my GED. I need to make these steps for my son, for my family. Right. And she stayed the course, right? She had that vision. Yeah. And how many times in businesses, whether it's you're talking about vision for your business or your plan for your marketing or what have you, all of a sudden you get nervous and you're like, okay, all hands on deck. What are we going to do to stay the course? You know? Yeah. It's like you, Chris, like if you want to have the tracksuit life, if that's in your vision,
hell yeah, dude.
If your vision is to have the pink flamingos in your front yard while you're pushing a mower, wearing a tracksuit and gaudy gold glasses and rings, Then stay the course, Chris. Stay.
Or do we do maybe the next outfit is the silk robe with the wife beater, the boxers.
Yeah, that's when you're going to get your
slides.
Newspaper.
Oh,
but there's not going to be newspapers in the future.
Not going to be newspapers. No, I don't know what I'm doing outside, but I'm doing something outside.
You're talking to the neighbors.
Yeah, hey, buddy.
If they even talk anymore in the future.
Probably don't. Probably a hologram.
Right?
Yeah.
No, you're moving. I know what you're doing in your robe. You're moving the sprinkler around.
Right. That's right. That's right.
You're moving the sprinkler.
Diligently moving it around.
Yep.
Put one sprinkler around like 5 acres of grass.
Yes.
That's all I do.
So it's just in the front yard. It's green.
Everything's dead except this circle. Fuck it. I gave up.
Yep.
It looks good though, right there.
Good. It looks good.
Fine.
Right.
That's so silly. That's so silly.
But stay the course, like this lady was saying. This young woman, she was saying, you just got to stick to it, right?
That's such a. You know what? I love those stories, man. There's 2 metal bands that I think of. There's the band Anvil, which had a documentary about them, like an 80s type of, an actual heavy metal band, like Iron Maiden is a heavy metal band, right? And they just got their come up decades. I mean, hair metal came and went. The Metallicas of the world came and went. Nirvana, like it all happened. Yeah. Right. And they're just however old they were, and now, they don't look so good in their leather pants anymore. And you're just like, oh, buddy, you're working at Walmart. So like, fuck, but documentary dropped. Yep. And I really hope that business wise, they saw it coming. They had that vision. I'm pretty sure that's the case. I'm pretty sure that they got the rights of the music and, so they capitalize on it. And then, they're selling shirts again. Yeah. And they got a tour going or whatever happened in that moment, and there was another one fairly recently. There's a guy, older guy, got some long hair going and he's in a band. Actually, I think it's older than Anvil is, called Pentagram. And he looks like he's doing the wide eyes. Right? He's like he took all the acid at once, right? And that's his thing though. Like he's been doing it since.
He's Pentagram?
Pentagram, yeah. Okay. But here's how wild this is, bro. That band is contemporaries of like a Black Sabbath. Dude, Black Sabbath is like legend of legends.
Legend of legends.
This year will be their last time on
Legendary.
Stage. Legendary, right? But this dude is still after it. Yeah. And talk about like trends have come and gone. Countries have come and gone, man. Kings have fallen. Yeah. And this dude is still after it. Yeah. Then TikTok, Instagram, one of these has this meme that's generated from this dude's look at a concert. That's just what he does. And the memes start flying in. Right. I did that. I took too much acid, all these kind of funny little things. Right. And he blows up. Millions, bro, like 7 million hits on this thing. And then people are like, wait, somebody puts his music under the meme or behind the meme. And like Pentagram gets freaking millions of plays out of the blue. Right. I mean, they were so obscure and out of the blue, he gets all these hits. So I hope too that he and whoever's in the band at this point, they're alive at this point. I hope that they own the rights, they're all tight legally. And man, I hope he gets all the money. That's so cool to be like, dude, that's what happens when you stick with it.
When you stick with it, right?
That's so awesome, man.
Well, I look at, and there's so many, we could go on forever, and I love these stories, but like you think of, like, last night, Hannah and I watched a little short documentary of Chris Stapleton. Yeah. Like he's like maybe a year younger than me. He's not, he's not like a young dude, but he's like in his later 40s. Right. But like when you hear about it, he was writing music for years
for everybody,
and I'm sure for everybody, and I'm sure he got paid nicely with it. Right. But you didn't necessarily know who Chris Stapleton was, and then all of a sudden, 2000, I'm just going to make up a number. Listeners, you probably know 2016, 17, 18, somewhere around there. Like all of a sudden, like he drops Traveler, right. And he ends up like using a lot of his music that he's been collecting over the years to and that he won so many awards off of that first album, and he just keeps on rolling. It's like he looks like he's an overnight success, but he's been after it forever and ever and ever, and then everybody else getting credit for his songs.
Yeah,
and he's still going, he's still plugging away, and then next thing you know, boom, here's Chris Stapleton years later, and he's legend. His vocals are on point. His songwriting ability is on point. His, and then only the climax at the Super Bowl with his.
Man,
come on!
With what's homie's name?
National anthem.
Quarterback, with the beard, dark-haired guy with the beard. I think it's a quarterback. And he's just got that single tier.
Yeah,
Jets are. Let's fucking go, America! I'm about to ride a bald eagle into North Korea, man. Let's go fight somebody right now, dude. God damn it, that was good.
I mean, drop the mic, game over. I don't even care at that point who wins the fucking Super Bowl.
So good.
Go USA. Yeah, I'm ready to battle somebody. It was amazing. And he said that he practiced more for that one moment than he has for a lot of the concerts he's prepared for. Just because that was if you botch that up,
it's forever.
It's just forever.
But
this has immortalized him.
That's right. Because if you screw it up, it's forever. But is it? I don't know. If you pull a Roseanne Barr, even people forget about that.
No, you got
to be our age. I'm saying, right? That doesn't necessarily live on, except Gen X.
But people still reference Whitney Houston on her performance.
But greatness really does live forever.
Yeah, greatness.
That's what
forever.
I mean. Yes, because if you intentionally screwed it up like she did, and others have, Stevie Ray Vaughan famously, laid an egg when he did, I think it was Dallas Stadium, something like that. But the whiskey got the better of him.
Yeah.
Cocaine got the better of him that day.
Okay. I can see that.
But they die.
But when you hit it out of the park.
Whitney does it though. Stapleton does it. Come on.
I remember I was like, I just had chills
all day. All normal messed it up. Dude, I'll put that on every now and again. And even when Shannon's, because she'll tear up too. But just driving down the road, just, like a nice Ohio fall day or something, just the right moment. Chill, little Chris Stapleton. I need this anthem in my brain right now.
Yeah.
And you're just driving, there's fields of wheat and shit.
Yeah. But it was funny though, because in a documentary they showed an image of him in high school or in younger early 20s, and he had no beard. Right. And that's the same dude.
Yeah.
But he played football, he played sports in high school. He was valedictorian. And then he went into to become an engineer before he decided to drop out and pursue his passion in music. Everybody has a story. All these people who are successful, that didn't just happen.
No.
They stayed with it. They stayed with it.
Yeah. Right.
And then all of a sudden they look like they're an overnight success.
Right.
No, this is a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
And so businesses too, I'm saying that even with our own agency, stay the course, keep focusing, stay the course, because, the reward is, once you cross that finish line,
so worth it, man.
Right.
Yeah.
It kind of also reminds me of a book. It makes me think of this book from Seth Godin. It's called The Dip.
Okay.
Where in anything good in life, if you want to try to succeed in life, there's always a dip.
Yeah.
Right. Even if you're trying to run an easiest example would be the dip in running a marathon.
Okay.
You start at when you're about to start in the morning, you're all jacked up, you're excited. The crowd, everybody around you, the gun goes off and you're running. You're like, this is great. I've been training for this. And all of a sudden you start hitting, in double-digit numbers. And you're like, ooh. Yeah. I'm feeling this cramp here, and the doubt's like, oh no, this is not good.
All the people, the high school coach, you're never gonna do this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And then this happened to me when I ran my marathon. It hit me hard, and I'm cramping. I'm like, no, I gotta focus. I'm I'm just hobbling. It doesn't even look like running. I'm thinking I'm running. It probably didn't look like it, but I'm going. And then at the very end, there's probably 200 yards before the finish line, and I see my coworker slowly, and I knew he's been planning this. He had to have been, but he crept up on me, and he's slowly taking, gaining some distance on me.
Right.
And I'm like hobbling. I'm like, what?
Not today.
Not today.
Not today.
No way.
No.
And so then I just that's it. And I just started sprinting that. And I just passed him, and but again, it's that dip. You go through this, and all of a sudden you hit that finish line. You're like, yes, I crossed the finish line.
That's right.
With the exhilaration, right? Yeah. Well, man, we urge businesses out there, like, we don't know what's going to happen with the economy. We don't know what the long-term effects of all these tariffs and everything that this administration is doing. We don't even care whether you agree or disagree, but with what's being done. But either way, the economy is going to be impacted, and how we stand in the face of these challenges, right, is going to determine how, what type of reward we're going to get at the end.
I think of a quote that my grandmother would say, my mom's mom, who's gone many, many, many moons now, 30 years. Chance favors the prepared mind. Mm-hmm. Oh, what literally one thing
about that.
Chance favors the prepared mind.
Huh.
So so it is, so first of all, it makes sense on its face, right? If you're ready for the moment, you're going to be there to meet the moment. Okay, I get it. But when you dig in a little, the prepared mind, well, preparation, first of all, usually means research, right? So that's where the education and the understanding helps you to, bevy yourself against fortify your mind against a coming storm, right? Why? Because the history maybe of the industry.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe you understand, there are ebbs and flows to this. No problem. Oh, this is that moment. Just like when such and such in the banking industry, ran into this in 1962, and he did this, and and there was a war then too. And and all of a sudden you have the Matrix moment, right? As per the research, right? Or maybe there's other ways that you're preparing yourself. Maybe it's just personally, right? How often do you see, maybe in a fight instance, right? I think of fighters where it's like some of the very best champions, they had talent, they had the athletic body, they had all of it going on, the coach, but their wife or girlfriend is just a complete disaster. The kids, like the family life is just chaos. Yeah. Right. And so preparing for that moment, right, is maybe like, okay, well, get your family right.
Yeah.
Right. And on the outside, you kind of see those sports writers like, oh, what's he doing? He's not in the gym, and he's, switched to coach. He did
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, he took a month off because, his family wasn't right.
Yeah.
Right. He reached out to his dad. He hasn't spoken in 10 years or whatever it is.
Yeah.
He had a prepared mind. Now, chance is the openness. The way I see it is the openness to whatever is coming, right? So the chance is reflecting of my ability to meet the moment and being open, rather than things ought to go this way, and then at the anxiety and panic when they don't.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, if we just do this and then we make that, then we'll get this. The moment doesn't happen, right? You don't get that, and then you freak out. Like, but if I did this, then this was going to happen. It did, and then they fall apart.
You fall apart,
right?
Yeah.
And so that chance is kind of that, the universe, man. Yeah. It's gonna come.
Yeah.
It's good. Look, there's a rhinoceros running 35 miles an hour at me. What am I going to do? Right? So just being open to say, maybe, God's going to make a wind strong enough to pull me out of the way of the rhinoceros, for all I know.
Well, it's like go back to that Godin book about the dip. It's just like so many people stop when they hit that hardship.
Yeah.
And they never get to see the fruit of their labor. Right. Because they didn't continue the race. Right.
Yeah.
No, but I love that. So how does it go? Chance
favors the prepared mind.
That's better. I like that. I got to remember that, because that's better than what I remember hearing people saying, like, luck comes to like those who basically have positioned themselves to receive it.
Right.
You know, that doesn't sound as. I don't know what the original
not
quote is.
Succinct.
Right.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Yeah.
Chance favors
the prepared mind.
Right.
Little shout out to Roberta Brady, old grandma there. And I don't know where she got it. It was probably some, famous quote or something like that for all I know. But yeah, that one always stands out. So persevere, people. It's going to be all right.
Absolutely.
Have a little faith. Whew, that was a good one.
Yeah.
That felt good.
Yeah.
Nice. We'll wrap it up there. It's been a while. I forgot my phrase last time too. What the hell is it? What is it again? From the iconic era of advertising to the digital age. I'm Chris.
And I'm Ernie.
Keep it legendary.